The name of Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, comes from the thriving trade in elephant tusks, or ivory, that attracted European adventurers to the area in the 17th century. The Republic of Côte d'Ivoire is located on the southern shore of West Africa's Bulge. It is bounded on the north by Mali and Burkina Faso, on the west by Guinea and Liberia, and on the east by Ghana. In 1983, Yamoussoukro was designated as the new capital, though Abidjan continued to serve as the capital in fact. See also Abidjan, Yamoussoukro. Area 124,504 square miles, 322,463 square kilometers. Population, 2020 est. 26,464,000. The shoreline on the Gulf of Guinea is known for its heavy surf, treacherous currents, and sand barriers that prohibited significant European settlement until the mid-19th century. The Bandama is the largest of four major rivers. The shallow rivers are useless for commercial navigation, but they create the only natural breaks in the coastal sand barriers. The terrain is a plateau, with 3 zones of vegetation. The coastal sand barriers and lagoons support mangroves, coconut palms, and halophytes, or plants adapted for living in an environment that is high in salt content. These give way to one of Africa's densest tropical forests, which covers about 1/3 of the country before it melds with the savanna of the north. The southern forest zone receives 80 to 120 inches, 200 to 300 centimeters of rain per year. French is the official language. More than 60 languages or dialects are spoken by the various peoples. About 39% of the people are Muslims, about 30% are Christians, and about 12% practice traditional religions. A national university opened at Abidjan in 1964. After gaining independence in 1960, the country enjoyed a rate of economic growth unequaled by its neighbors. Cacao beans, from which cocoa and chocolate are made, are the main export crop and are grown by more than a quarter of the population. Coffee, tropical woods, copra, pineapples, rubber, cotton, and palm oil are also exported. The mining industry is undeveloped and is limited to diamonds, some gold, and offshore petroleum. There are reserves of copper, nickel, uranium, and manganese, but these have not been developed. With about 3,100 miles, 5,000 kilometers, of paved roads and 31,100 miles, 50,000 kilometers, of secondary roads, Côte d'Ivoire has one of the best transportation systems in West Africa. An international airport was built at Port Boué. Abidjan's port facilities have been expanded. Hydroelectric dams built on the Bandama and Bia rivers supply electricity. Migrations and conquests in pre-colonial times created the present distribution of the many ethnic groups in Côte d'Ivoire. The Senufo founded the Kingdom of Kong in the 11th century. After the conquest of Kong by the Dioula at the beginning of the 18th century, it became the largest empire south of the Niger River. The Ashanti Empire was settled near Lac de Cassou. The Akan and Anyi peoples migrated there during the same period and established kingdoms. French colonial rule was not officially established until 1893. While the French moved to conquer the southern part at the end of the 19th century, the Kingdom of Kong was destroyed by the Mandingo warrior king, Samori Touré, who tried to establish a Muslim kingdom in the north. Samori himself was defeated by the French in 1898. Under French rule, the territory known as the Ivory Coast was part of the Federation of French West Africa. Most Ivorians had few political rights, but those who served in the government or in the French military were granted French citizenship. The French contributed to economic development, but the people were subject to forced labor. Although political, educational, and legal reforms were introduced after World War II, Ivorians, along with all of French West Africa, demanded independence. In 1958, the country became an autonomous republic within the French community. By 1960, however, France was forced to recognize the political independence of all its West African colonies. The new republic elected Félix Houphouët-Boigny president and established a government with executive, legislative, and judicial branches. Houphouët-Boigny was consistently re-elected. Opposition to him and to the country's main political party, the Democratic Party of Côte d'Ivoire, PDCI, arose in the early 1970s. The economy suffered as cacao and coffee prices fell, and Houphouët-Boigny pumped huge sums of money into transforming Yamoussoukro into a modern capital city. Opposition grew toward the government and continued close association with France. In 1986, the French version of the country's name became the only official name. In January 1991, the country held its first multi-party parliamentary elections, which Houphouët-Boigny won overwhelmingly. Henri Bédier assumed the presidency upon Houphouët-Boigny's death in December 1993. He was ousted by a military coup in late 1999. Laurent Gbagbo took office in 2000. You can subscribe to support our channel and turn on the notification bell to be notified of new videos.